So, I was looking at my bookshelf the other day, and it is literally groaning under the weight of self-help books.
Oh, I can picture it.
I have books on habits, on stoicism, emotional intelligence,
Hmm.
all of it. I've highlighted whole chapters on staying calm and letting go.
Yeah.
Intellectually, I'm basically a Zen master. I know the theory inside and out.
But let me guess,
Mm.
the theory doesn't always translate to reality.
Oh, it's not even close. The second real life actually happens, I get a passive-aggressive email, or my kid decides the wall is a canvas for a permanent marker.
Yeah.
All that knowledge, just poof, it vanishes. It's like my brain goes offline and my body just jumps straight into fight or flight. And it's so frustrating because I know better. I just can't seem to do better.
That is the universal paradox, isn't it? It's that huge gap between the library and the battlefield.
It feels like a glitch in my programming. Why does my brain know the right path, but my body just refuses to walk it when things get real?
Well, that's exactly what we're digging into today. We're doing a deep dive into a stack of research that suggests it's not a glitch at all. It's more of a hardware issue.
A hardware issue.
Yeah. The argument is that we keep trying to solve an emotional flood with, like, a cognitive bucket.
Yeah.
We're trying to use the brain to find peace, but the sources we're looking at today say true stability doesn't come from a brain that analyzes. It comes from a heart that remembers.
A heart that remembers. I love that phrase. And to figure out what that really means, we're looking at something a little different today. We're diving into Sufism. And before anyone tunes out thinking this is about to be some heavy theology lecture, let's just pause on that.
Yeah.
The way these sources frame it, this isn't about religious dogma.
Right. We're not looking at this through the lens of ritual or conversion. We're treating it as inner technology.
Inner technology. I like that.
Exactly. We're looking at Sufism as this centuries-old methodology for organizing your internal world. It's basically a system designed to train your nervous system to surrender and find peace, especially using concepts like Dhikr, which means remembrance,
Yeah.
and the qalb, or the heart.
So our mission for this deep dive is to figure out how we train our nervous systems so that when the storm hits, we don't just, capsize. We're going to look at the mechanics of the flipping heart, the neuroscience of chanting, and even the 4 stages of the ego.
It's all about understanding why the brain forgets, but the heart, if you train it right, can actually hold on to the truth.
Okay, let's unpack that. The source material starts with this really beautiful visual metaphor for what the heart is, and it kind of goes against everything we normally hear about self-improvement in the West.
It really does. I mean, in modern psychology or self-help, we always talk about the self as a construction project, right?
Yeah.
You're building a better you. You add skills, you add habits, you add knowledge.
It's all about addition.
It's all addition. But the Sufi perspective, at least in the texts we reviewed, sees the heart as a mirror.
A mirror. Okay, explain that.
The core idea is that your heart, in its natural state, they call it fitra, is this polished, flawless mirror. It's literally designed to reflect truth, beauty, and reality perfectly. You don't need to add anything to it. It already works.
But of course, life gets in the way.
Life is messy. Stress, traffic, social media, arguments.
All that stuff.
Yeah. And the sources describe all of that, the anxiety, the ego, the anger, as dust or rust that settles on the mirror's surface. And over time, you can't see the reflection anymore because there's just so much gunk on top.
That's actually incredibly relieving to hear, because it means if I'm feeling lost or angry, I'm not broken. I don't need to go out and buy a new personality. I'm just
Okay.
dusty.
Precisely. And that leads to this really crucial distinction. The Sufi approach is about subtraction, not addition. You don't need to go get another degree or force yourself into being a new person. You just need to polish the mirror, remove the interference so the original signal, the original you, can come through.
That sounds great in theory, but let's get into the mechanics. The source breaks down the actual Arabic word for heart, which is qalb. And the root of the word is, well, it's fascinating. It implies it's unstable.
It does. The root meaning of qalb is to flip, or, to turn over.
To flip, like a switch.
Or like a coin, maybe. Yeah. The insight here is that it's the very nature of the heart to flip. I mean, just think about your own emotional state on any given Tuesday.
Oh, it's a total roller coaster. I can wake up feeling like I've got this, I am the master of my destiny, and by 2 p.m. after one bad meeting, I'm doom scrolling and convinced I'm a total failure.
Right, we all do that. But normally we judge ourselves for it. We think, I'm so inconsistent, I should be a rock, I should be unmovable. But this definition is saying, the heart isn't a stone. It's supposed to move. It's supposed to react.
So my emotions flipping all over the place doesn't mean I'm broken. It just means I'm human.
You are functioning exactly as designed. The goal isn't rigidity. It's not about never feeling fear or anger. The goal is resilience. And the Sufis have a word for this, tauba, which basically translates to the return.
The return.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not about never falling down. It's not about never getting upset. It's about how quickly you can flip back, how fast you can bounce back to your center.
That connects so well with modern resilience data. It's not about avoiding the stressor, it's about the recovery time.
Exactly. And that brings us to the how. If the heart is prone to flipping, and we want to train it to flip back to peace more quickly, we need a tool. And that tool, according to these sources, is Dhikr.
Okay, this is the part I think people might misunderstand. Dhikr translates to remembrance. And on the surface, it looks like religious chanting. But the source material calls it, and I love this phrase, neurotuning technology.
That's the perfect way to frame it. We have to get rid of the idea that this is just, parroting holy words.
Yeah.
When you actually look at the mechanics of it, Dhikr is doing something very specific to your brain and your body.
So break down those mechanics for us. What's actually happening inside when someone does this?
Okay, so first, let's look at the brain. Your brain is a time traveler. It's always regretting the past or worrying about the future. It's almost never here right now.
Right.
So Dhikr gives you a word of remembrance. It could be something as simple as peace or truth or mercy, and that word acts as an anchor.
So every time your mind wanders off to worry about that presentation next week, you just use the word to gently pull it back.
Precisely. Think of it as a mental push-up. You're strengthening the muscle of your attention. But it goes deeper than just focus. The source really highlights the physiological connection, especially to your breath and the vagus nerve.
The vagus nerve is having a real moment in wellness right now. That's the body's emergency brake, isn't it?
It's the brake pedal, exactly. It regulates your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode. Now, Dhikr is almost always rhythmic. You have these long exhalations as you recite the word. And we know, biologically, that long exhalations stimulate the vagus nerve. That lowers your blood pressure, slows your heart rate, and sends a signal to your entire body that says, you are safe.
So you're basically hacking your own nervous system. You're manually telling your body to calm down.
In a way, yes. And there's a third piece to it, vibration. When you actually vocalize something humming or chanting deep in your chest, that physical vibration literally massages your nervous system from the inside out.
That explains why you can't just think your way to peace. I've tried telling myself, calm down when I'm angry, and it usually just makes me angrier.
Because when you're truly stressed, your prefrontal cortex, the logical thinking part of your brain, goes offline. It just shuts down.
Yeah.
You literally cannot think your way out of a panic attack because the thinker has left the building. You have to body your way out. You have to use rhythm, breath, and sound to tell your physiology that the threat is over.
It's a bottom-up approach instead of top-down. You calm the body so the mind can follow. Okay, but of course, there's always something standing in the way of this piece. We have to talk about the antagonist of the story.
The nafs.
The ego, the self, the barrier. The source breaks this down into 4 developmental stages, almost like a ladder you have to climb. And I have to say, reading these stages, I felt very seen, and not always in a good way.
It's a progression we all go through. So
Yeah.
stage 1 is what they call the commanding self. Just think of a toddler.
I want it, and I want it now.
Exactly. It's impulsive, it's reactive, it's driven by raw instinct, hungry, eat, angry, yell. There's no filter. And honestly, a lot of us spend a good chunk of our adult lives parked right here.
Then we get to stage 2, which I found surprisingly comforting. The blaming self.
Right, this is the awakening. This is when you snap at your partner and then 5 minutes later you feel that pit in your stomach, that guilt. You think, why did I do that? I'm such a mess.
And we usually try to run away from that guilty feeling. We think feeling bad means we're failing.
But the source argues the total opposite. Feeling bad about a mistake is a critical insight. It means you're awake. It means your mirror is clean enough to finally see the smudge. The source calls that guilt the fire that burns off the trash.
So if you're cringing at something you did last week, congratulations, you're evolving.
Exactly. And that leads to stage 3, the inspired self. This is where the friction starts to fade. You start doing good things because you actually want to, not because you feel like you have to. You start setting boundaries. You stop drowning in everyone else's drama.
And then the destination, the tranquil self, or mutmaina.
This is the stable center. And again, notice the language. It's not the static self or the unmoving self. It's the boat that still rocks in the storm, but it doesn't capsize. And when it does get rocked, It writes itself really quickly.
I think the key takeaway here, and the expert in the source really emphasizes this, is about how we should treat the ego. We're not trying to kill it.
No, you can't. You need an ego to function in the world. You need it to do your taxes and talk to people. The goal is to parent it. You're taking this tantrum-throwing child, the commanding self, and raising it into a calm, responsible adult, the tranquil self. It's a relationship of compassion, not destruction.
But like any parenting journey, there are definitely traps. The source lists these 5 spiritual traps that people fall into, and honestly, some of these are brutal.
They're so common. The first one is spiritual bypassing. This is using concepts like let it go or it's all destiny as an excuse to just avoid responsibility.
You're like, oh, I didn't pay my rent because I'm just surrendering to the flow of the universe.
Exactly. That's not spirituality, that's just avoidance. Then you have system overload. This is when people get a little too enthusiastic. They meditate for hours, breathe way too hard, and they actually stress their body out instead of calming it down.
The third one made me laugh, but it is so true. Spiritual narcissism.
Ah, the ego wearing a saint's costume. I am so much more woke than you. I meditate, therefore I'm superior. If your practice makes you feel better than everyone else, you've just fed your commanding self a very expensive organic meal.
It's so tricky because the ego is clever. It will hide anywhere, even in your own humility.
Especially in your humility.
Yeah.
Then there's number 4, chasing experiences, getting addicted to the highs or the visions you might get during meditation.
Wanting the fireworks.
Right. But the source is crystal clear on this. Those experiences are just scenery. They are not the destination. If you stop to stare at the pretty lights, you stop walking home.
And the last one, judgment. If your practice makes you judge other people for not practicing, you're doing it wrong. So with all these traps, what's the ultimate test? How do you know if you're actually getting anywhere?
It's so simple. You don't look for visions. You don't wait to levitate. You just ask yourself one question. Am I kinder?
That's it.
That's it. If you're becoming more rigid, more judgmental, more arrogant, just stop. You're off track. But if you're softer, more compassionate, easier to be around, especially when things go wrong, then keep going. The proof is in how you treat other people.
I love how simple that is. Okay, let's get practical. We have the theory, we know the traps. The source gives a specific 7-day protocol to get started. And I was really relieved to see it's not hours of chanting. It's surprisingly manageable.
It's designed for modern life. It's just 10 minutes a day.
So walk us through those 10 minutes. What do we actually do?
It's broken into 3 phases. Phase A is 2 minutes, just soft breathing. You inhale for about 4 seconds and you exhale for 6.
That longer exhale, that's hitting the vagus nerve right away.
Exactly. You're prepping the canvas, shifting gears out of that constant low-level panic. Then phase B is 6 minutes. This is the light Dhikr. You pick a neutral, positive word. Peace, truth, mercy. You just inhale the word and then exhale and let it flow through you. The main instruction is, don't force it, don't strain. Just let the word ride on your breath.
And what's phase C?
The last 2 minutes, life integration. Before you get up, you just ask yourself, how can I enact this word in one small action today?
So if my word was peace, maybe my one action is deciding I'm not gonna honk my horn in traffic today.
Or if your word is truth, maybe you finally have that honest conversation you've been avoiding. It bridges the gap between the meditation cushion and the office cubicle. The source actually suggests a theme for each of the 7 days to guide you.
Let's run through those really quick.
Day 1 is peace, building that base of safety. Day 2 is truth-stopping self-deception. Day 3 is boundaries, learning to say no. Day 4 is mercy, being kind to yourself for a change. Day 5 is courage, doing one small, scary thing. Day 6 is gratitude, focusing on what you have. And day 7 is surrender, letting go of what you can't control.
It's like a full workout for the soul, but in these tiny 10-minute bites.
And notice that progression. You have to start with safety, with peace, before you can even think about surrender. You can't let go if you don't feel safe first. That's a huge psychological insight right there.
So when we zoom out, what does all this mean for us? We've talked about flipping hearts, vibrating vocal cords, parenting our inner toddlers. What's the big picture?
I think the biggest takeaway is really reframing the goal of all this self-help or spiritual work. The Sufi path isn't about becoming superhuman. It's not about ascending to the heavens and leaving your messy humanity behind. It's just about returning home. The concept is fitra, your original pure nature.
You're not trying to become someone else. You're just trying to remember who you were before the world told you who to be.
Right, so the core question isn't how much do you know? It is, does your heart remember that it is safe? When the storm hits, can your heart find its way back home? We spend all this time polishing our resumes, our appearances, our social media, but we rarely take time to polish the one mirror that actually matters.
It's about building that muscle memory so that when the crisis hits, the heart just automatically goes, oh, I know this feeling, I know how to flip back.
Precisely. That is the entire practice.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting for next time. The source material teases the next deep dive, and it's a massive shift in perspective. Today, we talked all about filling the heart with truth, with remembrance, with these powerful words.
Yes, but the next step is, what happens when you learn to empty it entirely?
We're going from Sufism to Zen. The concept of of nothingness, the void. Is ultimate peace found in fullness, like the Sufis suggest? Or is it found in absolute, total emptiness?
It's the difference between polishing the mirror and just smashing the mirror entirely so there's nothing left to reflect.
Ooh, I can't wait for that one. That sounds both terrifying and exciting. But for today, the homework is simple. 10 minutes, polish the mirror, find your anchor word, and just see if you can be a little bit kinder to that toddler inside your head.
And remember, if you flip, just flip back. That's the whole game.
Thanks for diving deep with us. We'll see you in the void.
Take care.